welcome to episode 7 of Keeping the Light On. I'm your host, Allie Bailey. Now, it's been a while since we've last seen one another, and I hope that you're staying safe, sane, and healthy during these difficult times we find ourselves in. As an organization, LASC has been quite busy over the last few months. Gary and I have been working diligently at finding a path forward for our first show of the season, Tiny Beautiful Things, which opens at the end of September. In addition, Gary has been diligently cleaning, purging, fixing, organizing the set shop, paint and prop storage, electrics room, and the theater, so that everything will be in working order. Ed, our managing director, has been working diligently on grants and ways of keeping the theater running, as well as putting out information for our season plans. Jillian has been working tirelessly organizing, advertising, and running very successful and popular virtual theater camps during the months of June and July. In addition to all those activities, there's been an update with Los Altos Youth Theater that we'd like to share with you. Hi, Gary. Thank you so much for joining us.
Hi, Allie. It's good to see you.
Now, Gary, can you tell us a little bit about what you and Jillian have been up to these last few months regarding LAYT?
Well, unfortunately, for the past few months, Los Altos Youth Theater has been on a hiatus. We had planned to do a production of Matilda in the summer, but unfortunately, the situation in Santa Clara County, Bay Area, California, the country, the world has not allowed that to happen. We had to cancel this summer's production. We moved all of our education programs online. We did a summer camp this summer with a vast array of summer camps that were held via Zoom. We had summer camps in improv, summer camps in acting, dramatic play summer camps, film summer camps. So we've been busy, but unfortunately, we have had to put LAYT on hold for the time being.
And much to Gary's chagrin, I am leaving.
So it isn't just a rumor. You have actually decided to retire from LAYT?
I'm not going to call it retiring. I'm going to call it taking some time off and not being in charge anymore. I could never leave LAYT. I love it. It is too important and too amazing that I could stay away for too long.
You've had a very positive impact on this program. What are you most proud of?
The thing I would say I'm most proud of, I think our summer programs, because it isn't something LAYT has had in the past. I am not the first person to run Los Altos Youth Theater. I'm not going to be the last, hopefully. I mean, obviously. But we've had amazing people in charge all this time, so it's always been wonderful. But the new thing that I brought in would be our amazing summer programs that continue to grow and keeping the value and the core respect of what was important to the youth theater and continuing that on within our shows.
Now, y'all had a lot of great candidates apply for the program. How did you narrow it down? How did you decide who ultimately would lead the LAYT program?
We did. We had a number of great candidates, and that was very fortunate for us. We had about 6 finalists that interviewed with both Jillian and myself, all of which were incredibly qualified and would have been wonderful education directors. But ultimately, it was Gary Ferguson, who stood out kind of head and shoulders amongst the others. Gary's experience in education, his experience creating programs on the high school level, his experience in the local theater community, and honestly, his experience as a performer. Gary appeared on Broadway on national tours. He just brought a host of skills to the organization that ultimately Jillian and I felt would best benefit our education programs, the LAYT program, and also Los Altos Stage Company's larger artistic programs. So Gary's not only being brought on as the education director, but he's also being brought on as the associate artistic director so that he can help me kind of guide the programs moving forward.
And Gary came up with ideas and projects and stuff that we hadn't even thought of, things that we thought would be so exciting to bring to the community. surpassing everything he's done. He just has so much energy and love for this that I had promised and said that I was going to find someone who can do what I do and do it better. And I think I did. Sad but true. And I'm very excited for everyone at Los Altos and everyone who gets to see what we've done to see what he can do.
This seems like a great time to introduce Gary Ferguson, the new head of our education program. Hi, Gary. Thank you so much for joining us.
Well, hi there, Allie. Thanks so much for having me.
I've heard that you've worked in New York City and on Broadway. Can you tell us a little bit more about your history in theater?
Yes, I've been very privileged to work on Broadway. I was Mistopheles in Cats. Then I went on to do Chicago, West Side Story, Five Guys Named Mo, Bring in the Noise, Bring in the Funk, The Who's Tommy. I've also spent a lot of time working throughout the country, national tours of those same shows. I've worked in Vegas, I've worked in cruise lines, and I was fortunate enough to be the dance captain for the world famous Radio City Rockettes.
You've also done a lot of work in and around the Bay Area. Can you give us some of those highlights too?
Yes, I have been so excited to dip my toe in the waters of Bay Area theater for the past couple of years. About 3.5, 4 years ago, I was teaching at an all-girls Catholic school, and I realized that I was really missing live theater. And so I thought to myself, I got to get back at it. I got to get back at it. So bucket list show came up and I decided to get back out on stage, and that was with Dreamgirls. And after that, another bucket list show came up and I was able to do Ragtime. So it was just fun being back on stage, musical theater, exercising all three of those chops, singing, acting, and dancing. So after that, I thought, the bug will die down. I'll go back to teaching. And I realized that there was more to it than just that. So I stepped into the pool again and was able to do a little bit of choreographing, got nominated for some TBAs. That was kind of exciting. Then stuck my toe into the directing aspect of it, ended up producing a few shows, ended up as an executive producer for Stage One, and now I'm happy to say I'm excited to be home with Los Altos.
What attracted you to this position as education director at Los Altos Stage Company?
Well, Los Altos Stage Company is an American, icon in the Bay Area. It is this theater that is special to itself. I love what they bring to the table in regards to main stage straight plays, as well as musical theater, as well as a strong youth program. So those were the things that I was really looking forward to, being able to say, how can I bring my expertise in musical theater from birth to the grave, we call it, right? A lot of programs are either strong, with their adult programming, or some other programs are strong with their youth programming, but Los Altos had it all.
What are your goals for LAYT? What is your vision moving forward?
Well, my goals are to kind of fill in the things that are missing, and there are very few things that are missing. Spending a lot of time with high school and college programming, I think, is going to be where I'm going to really start with. A lot of kids come into our program kind of K through 8, and then once they get into high school, there's so many strong, amazing programs out there that allow them to to exercise their chops and to move forward. So my goal will be able to look at those programs and see how we can help support the high school programs, but also get those students to, come and share their gifts with us at Los Altos.
What are your plans for LAYT this fall?
Well, I think plans for the fall are, as we know, always kind of up in the air, right? But my goal is to look and kind of analyze the needs. So considering that most school age kids are basically online teaching, we're trying to figure out how we can possibly best help support those. So we're looking at, parents providing pods for their kids. We're looking for, just pure online programs. So what we're trying to do is look at it kind of from a holistic approach. So right now we're discussing an afternoon program that could possibly piggyback to the pods that we see going forward. So if the kids were to have their educational classes, say from 8 a.m. to noon, the kids could then take a 30-minute lunch break and then come and do arts with us in the afternoon. So we're looking to provide a 1 to 3:30 or 4 p.m. after school arts enrichment program for those schools that may not be providing that. Because I'm one of the fond believers, as I'm pretty sure most of those listening know, that arts helps every part of education. Every part of education. So we do not want to see arts kind of leave our school day. But we're also going to be looking at after school programming as well. We'll be looking to add some musical theater dance classes, some musical theater jazz and tap classes, and things like this. We're also looking to do a musical camp, but take it outdoors. We have a lot of great facilities in and around Los Altos. One of them being the Arts Museum right next door. So we're trying to utilize the spaces that we have to get the kids outside while the weather is still nice, but be able to continue with the education and theater programs as we want them, as we want them to truly be. So those are a few of the things that we're looking forward to do just for the fall.
Thank you so much, Gary. We are so thrilled to have you part of the LASC family. We love having you as part of our team.
I just wanted to end um, by saying a few words about Jillian and my appreciation for all that Jillian has brought to Los Altos Stage Company. I met Jillian when I first started here. Uh, my first show here was Fantastics, and we brought Jillian on as the choreographer. And since then, I have truly enjoyed my time and my collaborations with Jillian. Jillian came on about 5 years ago and literally created our education programs from scratch. She started with summer camps and after school workshops and built the program up from a handful of activities with just a handful of students to literally dozens of programs with hundreds of kids. And she really positioned the organization well to take over Los Altos Youth Theater. Without Jillian, without her energy, without her talents, without her connections, without her personality, Los Altos Stage Company would not be in the position it is regarding education and youth programs. So to Jillian and to all the work that she has done, I just say thank you and I appreciate everything that you have done.
Thank you so much for joining us. If you would like to continue your support of LASC and LAYT, you can buy a stage pass on sale now for the 2020-2021 season. It allows you 5 tickets to be used in any combination throughout the season. Remember, stay safe, stay sane, keep taking care of yourselves, and always keep the light on.